get to watch the. It's a pleasure to have you here. And trust me when I say you are in for a ride. You are in for a life-changing experience. You are in for a transformation that would affect your life positively, affects the lives of people around you positively, and also enable you to influence your world appropriately. Today, we are here to talk about reflections and inflections, the transformative power of journaling. And this topic is very mind blowing and crucial for us as individuals on the path of greatness because reflections and reflections through journaling, particularly, help us to understand the frame of our mind and the possibilities locked up within us. Because as we write, as we record, as we do things, several ways of journaling, as we live our lives, we are following a script, we are writing a story, we are creating new realities, we are entering into greater dimensions, into deeper insights of what it means to be a human, of what it means to have several dimensions, of what it means to have several aspects of life where we can, find expression, where we can influence other people. And the intentionality that we take to assessing these life moments, the intentionality that we take into documenting these life moments is what would literally set us apart from people that are just going through life and people that are making life happen. Our lives are meant to be beyond us. We are supposed to live lives that would be worthy of emulation. All the great people that we look up to today, imagine they did not document their lives. Imagine we do not know about Miles Monroe. Imagine we do not know about Pa S.G. Elton. Imagine we do not know about Mother Teresa. Imagine we do not know about just, think of that one person that influences you. Imagine we don't know about them. Imagine we don't have access to the life that they have lived. Imagine we do not have a glimpse into what life was for them at the time. We would be at a disadvantage. And this event is to ensure that we say attitude to life ends with us. This moving through life like, nobody knows tomorrow. Q, Sarah, Sarah. Q will not Sarah anything. Through her work, Mercy inspires authenticity, prosperity, and holistic well, a lasting impact on the lives of those she engages with. She remains open to meaningful conversations and collaborations that spark and unlock new responses. With a resounding round of virtual ovation and a wave of your favorite emojis, please join me to welcome the visionary, Mercy Alimi. A round of applause, please. Thank you so much, Mercy, for being here. I'm excited and I'm sure that lives will be changed.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please, you are.
Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you. It's really a pleasure and a delight to be here and to be speaking on a topic that is dear to my heart, an heart that is dear to my heart. Yeah, I believe that this evening, this moment would be a transformative one for everyone. And from here, you would not only see journaling as something that people talk about, but you see it as something that you want to do always, something that you would see it as an hobby. You see it as something that you just want to do, something that's just like drinking water is, right? You see it as something that is part of you beyond others are doing. So yes, thank you so much, Esther. The growth process hand for this platform to help other persons evolve and get transformation along the way. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Can we have some excitement in the chat box? I want to see how excited you are on this call. How excited? Sorry, how excited to be on. You can show with yes, yes. I'm seeing some emojis already. Yes, love it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have some more? Can we have more of it? Yes. Yes, let's have like two more emojis, two more reactions, and then we move. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, FNI. FYNI. Yes. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I I think the best way to start is sharing how journaling journaling became part of me. I I had been used to writing for a long time now. I think while I was leaving the primary school for secondary school, there was a time that one of my teachers called me and asked, "Are you interested in publishing a book?" And with that, I didn't really like, I was not really prepared for the question. So I just said yes, because it's something that sounded nice. And there was this junior of mine that was with him at that moment and was already writing a book. And with how I interacted with this teacher, I knew that he's like, I'm one of his favorite students, right? So for him to ask me, he said, "Okay, if you are interested, we can start now and reach out to one of the publishing companies that help that publishes book for students and pupils." I think the name of the publishing company is Rasmed. I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think it's Rasmed. And yes, I was excited and all, but the moment I had in the school was like was very few. The days I had were really numbered because we had finished, we were done with the common entrance examination, and after that it was the major things that remained was the ceremony, the graduating ceremony and all of that. And after that I left the school, but that hunger, that desire to publish a book and to write a book at a very young age was there. And I think that was when writing became part of me. Like, writing became something that I was so much interested in. I was so much eager to do. And I realized that in secondary school, I wrote so many stories, so many plays, so many dramas, so many prose. I wrote them. I wrote so many stories. I remember that there was one I wrote when I was in GS2. It was The Mandate. The title was The Mandate, and I used um this notebook, or this brown colored notebook then, because my mom sells stationery, so there are some books that are not like that you're not able to sell again because they are spoiled. But yes, I had the opportunity to make the most of those books. I had so many books, opportunity to write on many books, just take one book, write on it, start a story, and I never finished any of the stories. And unfortunately, I don't really have access to all those books again. But I believe that if I like make a thorough search, I'll be able to find some of the stories. So yes, that was how it started, and evolving, getting to the senior class, I started writing stories. I would write stories for my classmates. They would read it, share their thoughts on it. I would write poems. They would share their thoughts on it. And what I was doing at that time was that I I noticed some trends in my class and amongst my secondary school mates, and I would sit down, write on it, and share it with them. So it was more of speaking with them without really speaking with them. I used that opportunity to let them know what they should be doing right, what is wrong, because then, the teenage years is like a very critical point in our lives where people get to just do anyhow, the influence of peers and all of that. So I just thought, how can I like speak with my friends, with my classmates without really speaking with them? Because if you start speaking, the fear of, oh, hope they won't see that, they won't think that I'm the different person, hope they won't think that my own is too much. And I had a nickname then, Mommy Gio, so I didn't want to get another. So yeah, the thought of all of that. So the only way I felt that I could do something was to write. It was a higher education notebook then. So I would write on it. Sometimes it's about most times it's not always about, oh, don't do the bad thing. Sometimes it's encouragement. So during our exam period, I would write it, share it with them, and people are always eager. Most of my friends are always eager to write and to just to just like check through. And I think there was a time I got a comment. I did bad in an exam, and one of my friends just told me that, Mercy, you're good with essays, you're good with writing. Can't you just go to the art class? And I left the class for science. So it was something that I really found interesting, that people thought that, oh, I think you should just do art and all of that. But yes, all of that, I like, while reflecting, I realized that all of that had shaped me to who I am today, and my perspective on journaling, on reflections, on taking moments, and on being able to just like being being involved, to be involved in my own process, in the process of being, in the process of becoming. So yes, from my story, what did you learn from what I just shared now? What lesson did you learn? What stood out for you? And just let me know what stood out for you, what you learned, and something that is just like, oh, I found this interesting. So yes, let's have that in 60 seconds. Yes, you can type. You can, yes, type. And I, is everyone there? Oh, yes, Esther, thank you. Esther said she found the indirect conversation very interesting and profound. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So can we have more persons? Joy, Kinde, Precious. Okay, let me share what I found interesting. Okay, Precious is saying something. Precious said, I learned to be more involved in my process. Yes, yes. Precious said she learns to be more involved in her process. Yes. And looking at that, I think I'll just continue from there. I I had processes, but I didn't really realize that I was doing something that was profound, something that would help me to not only be in the moment, but be able to um, take note of everything. And not only for me, but for other persons and for generations to come. Because the art of journaling is actually a timeless art. It's actually a timeless art that when we intentionally uh, get involved, would not only see ourselves in them, but would see generations to come, would see would see generations, many generations in them. Look at different persons that we hear about. History is awesome because some people were intentional about taking the moment. Some people were intentional about journaling their own moments. And it's not, sometimes you don't even get to see people write about people. Sometimes it's people that write about their lives, or people write about people, about other persons, because of what they found. Maybe they found a journal in the person's room or something, and from there they're able to carve out something good. They're able to mine some gold, like rich gold, from the moment or from what they encountered from this individual. So yes, journaling helps you to be involved in processes. It helps you to be involved in your own process. So continuing my story, I after secondary school, I was like waiting to be admitted into the university, and along the line, I I had to write jam again, and during the process, I had an accident that made me stay at home for a number of time. And at this time, I didn't really have much to do. I was just in my room. I could not go out. I could not do a number of things myself. Most of the things I did then was listen to music, pray with my Bible, chat with friends. It was just like a routine. And then like the whole experience made me chubby. Like I was very chubby, and it was like, oh, this is it. And during that time too, I realized that that was the time I intentionally started journaling, because I would write about the things I studied in the Bible, reflections from the scripture, reflections from what I was experiencing, like the whole moment, how the moment was for me, how I felt, and everything. And I realized that, oh, this thing is something good, because the whenever I go back to read my entries, I find it interesting. I feel light, even when sometimes what I write may not really be interesting. Sometimes it's just about sharing how I feel in my heart about a particular situation. But I realize that whenever I go back again, I feel light, I feel good, I feel like, oh, so I'd gone through something like this. So I've had a moment in my life that I had to experience something like this. And I just feel different. I just feel good. I feel light in my soul. I feel like I want to do more. Yes, I want to do more with life, and I want to do more with taking critical moments, taking moments. And I realized that what like this realization did for me was to make me a child again, to make me have this childlikeness again. So the moment I find like this is something I really want to do, this is something I want to do more, I realized that I I was very observant of my environment. I was very curious about things, and there were some things that I was intentional about to check check. So I noticed that, okay, I think I journal more when I travel. I journal more when I'm in a new environment. I journal more when I have conversation with someone. I journal more after reading a book. I journal more after, like I began to like point out the things that help, that allows me to do it intentionally, to do it without procrastinating, to do it without thinking of it, or thinking that, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? So I was very intentional with knowing the triggers, knowing the things that allows me to want to journal more. And it's been good. It's been good, 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 good. But yes, there was a time that I stopped because of school works, because of many things like business and all of that. And I started the digital version of journaling, but it wasn't as effective for me as the hard copy or the traditional method of journaling. So I just knew that I needed to go back to the traditional method and just do the digital method when I don't have the opportunity to do to use the traditional method of journaling. So yes, it's been moments of involvement. It's been moments of being involved in my own processes, being involved in my own journey. Because I was thinking of it that it's something interesting to not only, yes, God is our source, God is our designer, but how interesting it is for you to write the process of the designs in your own way. God has his own, God is the masterpiece. He has his own plans, but carving out, writing down how God is working in your life, how God is doing different things, how the notes are connecting. It's something interesting to be involved, to be fully involved in your life, to be fully involved in noting how the bricks are being laid. It's interesting to see how the furnitures are being placed, how the how the temple of your life is being built, right? So it's something interesting. And I want you to see journaling as something that you need to do, not because you just want to do it, but because you want to be involved in the processes of your life. You want to be involved in the activities of your life. Because I realize that it's very easy for us to forget moments. Yes, you might remember that was something happened um last year, July. You can remember, but you may not be able to go back and relive the moment as you would if you had journaled, if you had written about it, taking moments about it, and just taking memories about it rather, and just puts down something about it. It feels different when you've already, like, when you write it down, and like all you just need to do in 5 years, 10 years is just to go back to your journal, read again, and just wow, have the picture all over again. What One of the things journaling does is that it helps your vision. Journaling helps your vision. I can testify to that. It helps your vision. It really helps your vision because you don't see casually. Because someone, if you want to be um an active person, if you want to be very active with journaling, you have to be very observant of your environment. You have to be very observant of the little things. You have to be able to bring out something from nothing. Yes, journaling actively helps you to bring something from nothing. It helps you to realize that there is so much gold, there is so much colors to paint the world with. There is so much colors to paint the pages of your journals with. So there is nothing like I don't have idea. There is nothing like I'm experiencing writing block. I'm experiencing I don't know what to write. It's just there, but you have to be conscious of it. You have to be intentional about it. You have to ensure that every moment, the event that you go, the new person that you meet, the shoe, what you noticed about your shoe, something you noticed about your environment, the conversation you had with your friend, the book you read, a sentence that stood out for you can can be something that would totally change the trajectory of your life. So you don't see journaling as something that is hard. And if you see it as hard, I challenge you to do the hard thing. Do that hard thing. Do that hard thing. If journaling is the hard thing for you, if writing your thoughts down is the hard thing for you, I challenge you to do it. Practice it for a month. April, we're starting April soon. I want you to be intentional with it. Set something, like write something, what you want to achieve in the next 30 days concerning journaling, what you want to see in your life, the results you want to see. Do you want to see yourself being intentional more, or practicing journaling from an unconscious state and from a place of competence, right? Do you want to be able to share with someone that, oh, I was writing down my thoughts on something, and this was what happened. So this is what it does for me. And yes, before I continue, I want everyone to have something, a journal, maybe a new jotter or something that you want to start using. If you do not have a journal, take a new book, jot the things you're learning from here, jot them down in that book. That's the start of your journaling process. That's the start. So I want you to like to start to have a book intentionally for journaling. Have a notebook. It doesn't have to be one big book. It doesn't have to be customized. It doesn't have to be like one big book. It can just be a notebook. It can be a normal journal. I have two journals, though I've not been using one, but the one I've been using actively is like a notepad, not it's not an hardcover journal, it's a notepad. And really, I think I was fascinated by the colors. So I just feel like, let me just choose it. Let me use it to jot down my thoughts. And I've been using it for a while now, and it's been good. It's handy. I can take it anywhere. I can take it around. And the other journal I have is like a more sophisticated one. Not really sophisticated, but it's more sophisticated than the other one. And I find it's quite hard to take it around and all of that. But the mind is that have something that you can take around, something that is handy, something that cannot really spoil in time. And yes, these journals, the covers are hard covers, so I'm not expecting it to like to spoil us for anything to happen to it. So yes, ensure that you have a journal, and if you do not have it, please get one now. Like, tear a sheet of paper and write the plans, write the things you want to achieve in the next 30 days. So yes, yes, I've said I've said quite a lot. I feel that there are so many things to share, and um I'm just allowing it to be as free as possible. I do not want to just like structure it in a way, because I feel that we might be limited if it's like that. But yes, 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 journaling is a beautiful thing. Journaling is not a hard thing. Um, Journaling helps you to see far. It helps you to see wide. It helps you to go deep. Yes, it helps you to go deep. So if I say I am a kind person, that word alone is something that you can journal about. It doesn't have to be, oh, what will I journal about? You're not, see, I think that the mindset sometimes about journaling is that people feel that, oh, they're writing an exam, someone would evaluate them and all of that. So most people feel that, oh, I just have to do my best. I just have to write well. I just have to write so good. See, if you see some of my journals, you feel like, oh, more. Does this person know how to write? Because there are days that you are just very vulnerable. You're just at your lowest state, but you feel like, oh, I have to write something about everything I'm going through. And in that moment, you can just write, I don't know what. I've started my one of my journal entries with, I don't know what to write. right now I don't really know what to write. And from there, I just started writing. I just started writing. I just started writing. I just realized that I was just flowing. I was just flowing. It was like everything in the like in my being was just coming out. My thoughts that I could not really express started coming out. There are times that when someone asks you, how are you? You just tell them that, oh, I'm fine. But you know that you're not fine, but you don't know how to express yourself. And journaling helps you with that. You are speaking to yourself, you're having a conversation with yourself, and you are able to express yourself. You're able to express yourself. So do not see journaling as a hard thing. It's not, it's all hard. It's not that hard. It's not hard. It's actually something simple that you can practice as much as you can. You can practice it as much as you can. There is no limit to how you can go in journaling. So I was talking about when I could not journal as much as I wanted. And one of apart from like journaling, using the digital method, I was also um intentional with taking moments, taking pictures, taking videos, and all of that. Like I was very intentional with it because I knew that I want to be able to like maybe write so extensively about them because of maybe how busy I was at those moments. So what I did was that I intentionally I backed up my pictures using Google Photos. So I intentionally ensured that I take pictures of moments. I think there was a time my friends were fed up, like, you always take pictures. Messi, you always take pictures. You're always taking pictures. I think Esther can testify to that. I'm always taking pictures, taking videos of moments, just like reliving moments. And I think that most of the time, when I'm not on social media or I'm not active online, I spend a lot of time on my gallery. I spend a lot of time checking pictures, checking videos every time. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, every time, almost every time. I can just visit a friend now and I I just I take a pictures. I take pictures of the moment. I take videos of some moments that maybe other people would feel like, why do you have to take it? And I realized that it has helped me because I may not be able to write immediately about what happened at that time. But when in the next month, maybe 2 months' time, in 3 months' time, when I feel like, oh, I want to write about this, I'm able to write about it. Not just writing about it from the feeling of, oh, let me write about it. Can I remember what date was it? No, I'm writing it from the place of, oh, I have the records. I have everything I need to write effectively, to write accurately, to write precisely. So that is one of the technique, one of one of the diversional way I've always practiced. And I I got to realize that photojournaling is actually a thing. Photojournaling is also a thing, is a way of taking moments, taking memories, and you may not be able to write about them, but also keeping them. Because one thing about journaling is not only about taking the memories, it's not only about taking the moments, it's also about you being able to keep the moment, hold on to the moment, keep the moments, keep the memories. And when people ask you about it in months, in the next months, in the next years, you're able to show them, you're able to either show them in your journal or maybe through pictures. And another way that I'm for now, I'm just like sharing the different different method I use in journaling and also taking moments. Another thing I do is I record my thoughts. So I can just, okay, the first physical interview I had in school was a TEDx interview, TEDx Lautech interview, and I was very nervous. it was the first physical interview I had. Before then, I'd only had virtual interviews. So I was very nervous. I didn't even know the persons that would be interviewing me, though eventually I realized that they were people I knew, right? So I could not write. Like when I got home, I was just thinking, oh God, did I do well? Did I not do well? And all of that. But I was just, it was like one of my first. So I was thinking of how did I do? How did I feel? And all of that. And when I noticed that I could not write, I could not really articulate my thoughts at that point, I just recorded, I just turned on my recordings and I recorded as like I think the minutes was quite long. Just ah TEDx Lautech said we should come for an interview. I applied to be a volunteer and all of that. And I applied and I was picked. I was mentioning the processes. It wasn't like I jumped from one point to the other. So I was able to mention the processes. So I left my hostel. I made sure that I dressed well. I saw my friends and they were looking serious because my friends were the co-organizers. And honestly, I was just like saying it expressly. And it was just like I was writing in my journal. And after that time, I was still able to write on my journal, write some other things on my journal. And what that did for me was that I knew that I grew because when I checked the journal, when I listened to it again, I realized that a lot has happened in months, a lot has happened, a lot has happened. So sometimes journaling also helps you to know that you are not stagnant. Journaling helps you to know that you are doing something. Journaling helps you to know that you are intentional about your growth. Journaling helps you to speak to yourself. It helps you to tell yourself, guy, what are we doing? Where are we? What are we doing? It helps you to express your thoughts and it gives you answers because the moment you are able to express your thoughts, because even in counseling, counselors want to hear more than they give back. They want to hear you speak more. They want to hear you express yourself more because through that, they find the roots cause and they're able to provide solution to your problem. So the more you're able to express your thoughts in writing, the more you're able to express your thoughts in writing. Writing is the main form of journaling, the most common form of journaling, because writing has a way of helping you to be vulnerable, to easily express yourself, even if it's not in a professional way. You're able to express yourself. You're able to be in the moment of expression, the moment of thought, because you are engaging your eyes, you're engaging your hands, you're engaging your heart, you're engaging everything within you. You're engaging sorry, you're engaging your brain, you're engaging everything. And that helps you to not only not only speak, use your mouth, you're able to use like different parts of your senses and bring out something good, something unique from the whole process. So yes, from all I've shared so far, what stood out for you? What stood out for you? What stood out for you? So I'm expecting responses. I'm expecting responses from us. What stood out for you? Okay. Yes, Angela Lua said, journaling helps you to bring something out of nothing. Yes, yes, love it. Journaling helps you to bring something out of nothing. Nothing. Yes. Usaya said, I learned that on the days journaling, on the days journaling can be hard, I should I should do the hard thing. I'll also take more pictures from now on. Yes, please take more pictures, because if you do not even have the time, if you do not have the opportunity to maybe write your thoughts in the moment, you can also take pictures, record the moment, and just ensure that you keep the memories of the moment. And another form of journaling that I recommend for people that are just starting out is bullet journaling. Bullet journaling is one of the easiest form of journaling to do, because it's not like the reflective form of journaling where you have to write it all by yourself, write everything out by yourself. It's it's just like, just with the name, it's bullets. So you write things in bullets. Okay, maybe today you can just write in your notepad the things I'm grateful for. I'm trying to, so you can just write. I don't know if everyone can see this, but you can write, okay, um, today I'm grateful for this. So in bullet journaling, you can incorporate other forms of journaling. You can incorporate gratitude journaling. You can incorporate even photo journaling. Maybe you took pictures. You can incorporate reflective journaling. You can incorporate other forms of journaling in bullet journaling. And most of the journaling businesses or journaling companies, um, they they make use most of the bullet journaling. So you can see a segment for to-do list, another segment for your habit tracker, another segment for what you're grateful for, another segment for what you learned today, and all of that. And I feel that you can start with that as like starting out, or for someone that doesn't really have the time to do a lot of things. But it's quite limiting, because I do not use customized journals. It's quite limiting because you are restricted to some point. The numbers, maybe what you have to, the entry for today is just a page. So you may not be able to go beyond, because you feel like, oh, I've exhausted the page. So sometimes it's best that you have a plain journal that can help in that regard too, especially when you want to practice more of reflective journaling. So you can have like two journals, a bullet journal that is customized, and a plain journal. And there's there are different brands that's like that that sells journal. I think the earlier brand has a product too. The earlier brand, they have a product for journaling, a bullet journaling, to-do lists. I think there's a part for gratitude to a part for checking what you did in a day and all of that. So, and it's just beautiful to see that people are able to come up with something to help people to journal more, to be involved in their processes. Because to-do lists, writing to-do lists too is a form of journaling. Bullet journaling is more of planning. Bullet journaling entails more about planning your day, planning your life, goals and vision. I think, yes, that's the major thing about bullet journaling. It helps you with your goals. It helps you track your goals. It helps you track the moments. So that was the reason why I was saying that it's advisable for you to have another journal, a plain journal preferably, so that you would be able to practice the other forms of journaling extensively. You'll be able to practice reflective journaling. You'll be able to practice other forms of journaling, vision journaling, dream journaling, travel journal. Like there's something as travel journal where you write about your travel, where you write about like moments that you had. There's friendship journal, and friendship journal is is quite is quite diverse because it depends on the individuals involved. Friendship journal, friendship journaling, family journaling. For friendship journaling, I feel that the best way to go about it is to have a digital version of the journal so that both parties would be able to have access to their thoughts about their relationship, about what is going on. So when you're journaling is not, it's interesting to know that journaling is not only about you. It's interesting to know that it's also about other persons. So you and your partner, for the people in relationships, you can journal about your love life. You can journal about your friendship. You can journal about even like your business partner. You guys can journal together. You can journal in a way that you guys are able to take inventory of the moments, of the different moments in your life. And really, it's so good. It's so good to see that different parts of our lives, we can really journal about them. You can journal about your relationship with God. You can, Bible study journaling is a thing too, where you extensively write about what you're learning from the scriptures. So you are not just reading the Bible, you are learning and you are able to bring out things from it. You're able to reflect on your life, look at how the part of the scriptures speaks to you. There's prayer journal too. There's vision journal, prayer journal, prophecy journal for people that are intentional with documenting their encounters with God, different encounters with God. So you can have different forms of journaling. And for me, I find it easy to just have few journals because I I feel that if I have one prayer journal, I have a Bible study journal, I have a bullet journal, I have different forms of journal for different things. I may not be able to I would not be effective. So what I do is that I just write. So I may just what I would do that would be different is I would jot differently. I would make the heading different. Yeah, Esther said it affected her one time. So it's best that you section your journal. So you can ensure that you you section it. And if your journal is paged, you just, okay, maybe from the first page to the 20th page, it would be for your to-do list for bullet journaling if you are using a customized journal. And maybe, okay, Bible study journal. For Bible study journal, I feel that you should have a different journal for that because it might take a lot of space because you don't have the opportunity to guess how much revelation you would see from the scripture. So um so another 20 page for maybe gratitude journal, what you're grateful for. And another practice, another form of gratitude journaling apart from writing is the use of gratitude jar, use of sticky notes to write what you're grateful for every day. And I feel that that's one of the easiest way to practice gratitude journaling because you just write about everything. Okay, I'm grateful for my friends, I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful for this, and you put it inside the jar. So it's very easy for you to like keep records of them and be consistent with them once you have your jar somewhere that you can see it. And another way to ensure that you practice journaling more is to set reminders. You can put it in your calendar. I In my calendar, there is a time in the morning where I get to remind myself, and there's a time at night where I get to remind myself to journal. Because most of the time you might get carried away. We have many things to we want to share, we want to journal about, but sometimes we do not have the opportunity to because of busyness, because of how busy we are and all of that. So it's best that you set a reminder. You make sure that journaling is part of what you do every day. So when you set the reminders, you know that, and you get the alarm or the notification, you know that, oh, you have to do it. And at that time, you may not even have the opportunity to do it immediately, but you know that you have to journal. And another way to make journaling interesting is to be creative as you can. Even if the creativity is upside down and you feel that if people see this thing, what will they think? Be creative as much as possible. There was a time that I used sticky notes. I would, oh, okay, I want to get, sorry, I want to get my sticky note and show something. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yes, so I'm back. So you can use your sticky notes to do something interesting on your journal. I did that. It just came to mind and I did it like sometimes back, but I've not done it in a while. So what I do sometimes is, if I'm not able to write about a moment, I'll just maybe put the sticky notes here, something like this. I'll put the sticky notes here and just write about it. Write the things I want to write. Write the things. I may not be able to write extensively, but it's already journaled. You get, so once I see it, I'm able to remember that, oh, this happened. So when I have the opportunity to write extensively, I know that, oh, I wrote about my the recent trip I had to Ibadan. So I'll make some highlights, the people I met, the places I went to, conversation with a friend. I'll put the name of the friend, the food, the food adventure, something, something. So once you have the highlights, you know that, oh, I'm able to, I'll be able to write better when I have the opportunity to. Because sometimes we think that journaling is something that we need to have the time, all the time to do, but it's not always like that. Just writing something that comes to your mind. My dreams are valid. My life is full of colors. You can write a My life is full of colors. With my life is full of colors, you can write an entire story about your life, about how the quarter had been for you, how things had been for you. It's more what journaling wants is that you're vulnerable, you are able to express your thoughts in the way that you can express your thoughts, and you are just there expressing your thoughts. So it's not a hard thing to do. It's very easy. It's very easy to do. It's an easy thing to do. So yes, I've been speaking. So what stood out for you, in like what form of journaling do you feel that, like, oh, I think this is interesting and I would love to practice it? What form of journaling? Yeah, Joyce said she's really learning about new forms of journaling. Love it. Blessing said, I learned that journaling helps me to know that I am not stagnant. Yes. Yeah, friendship journaling, it's really a beautiful thing. I've not practiced this before, but I feel that I would love to explore and, yes, see the beauty of it. Yeah. So yes, let's come more, let's have more persons share. I Let's have more persons share what stood out for you, what form of journaling stood out for you, and which one are you like interested in practicing more? Okay, so I guess there are no responses again. But yes, I believe that you, from the like different forms of journaling shared, you've seen some that that are really fascinating and that you'd love to practice. And there's another form of journaling that I feel that people that are in the creative space, yeah, oh yes, Joyce saying something. Joyce said she thinks, I think I like this use of sticky notes, where even though I don't have all the time, I'm still able to journal, no matter how little. Yes, yes. It's really beautiful to say that you can still journal even if you do not have the time. You can journal your ideas, you can journal your thoughts. Because if we do not if we do not like put down our thoughts, it's easy to forget. If you have an idea now, or if something just comes to mind and you do not just like put it down, there is no way you'd be able to remember. And if you remember, it may not be as fresh or as unique and original as the first time. So that's why it's important to just write it down, write it down, write it down. Ensure that you have it written down somewhere. You have it written down. So yes, that's one beautiful thing about journaling. And yeah, I wanted to talk about the heart journaling. Art journaling is, I feel that creative persons would be more fascinated by the like art journaling, because it involves you more of drawing, more of painting, more of using your artistic expression to reflect on the moment. So now it's not about you writing a lot. It's more of um, just writing, like drawing, painting, just like using heart to keep the moment, something like that, using heart to keep the moment. So it's something that you can explore. Have actually wanted to explore that part, but I'm not so good with drawing. I'm not actually good at drawing. Joyce said, right, art journaling is not for her because she can't draw to save her life. So I think I act like I'm there to I'm that shoot because I can't draw to save my life. So I feel that I can still make use of colors, I can make use of highlighter, of different stationery materials. So I still make use of that to, in a way, be artistic. So yes. And yes, be artistic. And I'm actually trying to challenge myself to be more artistic with my journaling in this year. In this year. So yes, that's art journaling. That's art journaling. And there's vision journaling too. There's vision journaling where you write about your idea, the vision of your life, corporate vision, the vision of your career, the vision of your vision, what the things you see being, the person you see being, what assignment you have, the vision that you have. There's no small vision, private vision, personal vision, vision for other persons. There are big things you should write about. There are big things you should consistently write about. The fact that people that are visionary get to think about the vision, sleep with it, dine with it, work with it. That means you should write about it. If something is in your head over and over, something is in your heart rather over and over, something is always dining with you. Once you take that spoon, the spoon, 1 spoon of rice, it's your vision that you're remembering, the vision that you have for maybe some vulnerable people in a particular community, or the vision of your own life that, have I read today? What have I done today? Have I reached my goals? It's something to write about. The fact that it comes to your mind means that you have to write about them. You have to write about your vision. And one of the ways to go about journaling, especially the reflective and the ones that requires you to be more detailed and more expressive, is that you have to ask yourself questions. I call them defining questions, because defining questions do not just exist for you to answer them. They exist for you to experience defining moments. They are not just questions that you feel that, oh, I want to journal. Let me write these questions. You have to ask yourself some deep questions, some questions that no one will ask you, some questions that you feel like, Mercy, face to face, what are we doing? Where is this where you should be concerning this goal, concerning this assignment, concerning your career? Is this where you should be? What have you done towards this? All of that, they help you to launch into defining moments. Because if we do not ask ourselves some questions, people won't ask us. Your mentor may not even, it may not even come to the mind of your mentor, because you are the closest person to you, like in the right sense, you are the closest person to you. You know what is going on in your heart. You are able to express yourself more. You know when you're lying, you know when you're not saying the exact truth. So it's best that you ask yourself some critical questions, some defining questions, questions that will help you move from 0 to 10, that would help you move from just wishing to doing, questions that would help you to know where you are, the points you are in your life, questions that will help you scale your life on a scale of 1 to 10. Where am I? Where am I with the vision of my life? Where am I with the things I need to do? And all of that. So it's when you ask yourself defining questions that you are able to get answers. You are able to get answers. And don't worry. I have a little tip. I have some little tips. And through, like, while we are rounding up, every one of us would get to write some questions down, and some of these questions will work with them, would work with those questions. I have some created for you. And yes, I believe that there would be more resources even after this session, for people that want to learn more on, like, asking defining questions and getting journaling prompts. And for journaling prompts, ask question is like one way to, like, get prompts for journaling. And it might be personal sometimes, and sometimes you can also use the general prompts that other persons are using. There are different prompts um, on the internet. There are different sites where you can get journaling prompts. I think Pinterest has, like, there are different prompts on Pinterest, so you can check that out. You can check Google too. You just type journaling prompts for maybe a particular aspect, maybe for your love life, maybe for your relationships with people, maybe for your career or something. You can just, like, check, and you get some results, you get some response from your search. So yes, so defining questions. But one of the most effective prompts that I've found effective, I don't use prompts, I don't use general prompts, I don't use prompts outside. I find easy to ask myself questions. I find it easy to ask myself divining questions. It's very easy. You are, hello, hello. Yeah, I'm able to ask myself, hello, everyone. Hello.
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, um, asking defining questions is the most effective form of journaling that I have experienced so far. Though sometimes you get to say, oh, I'll write about this, I'll write about how my day went and all of that. But even if you want to write about how your day went, you have to be able to ask yourself some questions so that you'd be able to write better. You have to be able to ask yourself some questions so that you'll be able to express yourself freely. Because I feel that the reason why people find it hard to journal or to express their thoughts exactly is because we shy away from asking ourselves questions, deep questions, life-changing questions, because we feel that, oh, am I really ready? you know, like it happens that you feel like, am I really ready to answer myself? And you know the answer, but you feel like, am I ready to give this answer to myself? Am I ready to tell myself the truth? Am I ready to really express how I really feel and all of that? But it changes so much. It changes a lot of things when you're able to intentionally ask yourself these questions, questions about your spirituality, about your relationship with God. You know in your heart that this is not where you're supposed to be in your relationship with God, but you just keep like ignoring the questions. You just keep ignoring having the time out to ask yourself those questions because you're not ready to face it. You're not ready to just like get it solved because you feel like don't you can't do it. But yes, those questions are critical to helping you launch to defining moments, to moments that would change your life. I wrote something on my status this afternoon about not only being in the moment, because people can everyone can do the same thing and have different experiences. And the one of the things that allows that is because most people have not learned how not to just be in the moment, but also take memos, take memories, memoirs that will become memorials, right? Memoirs that will become memorials. And once you're able to take memos, write about them, journal about them, you'd realize that it's not only about you now, it's about generations to come, it's about people around you. Because to the extent that you change, to the extent that your life is transformed, to the extent that you're able to lead yourself, that's how you'd be able to influence other persons. That's um that's the extent you're able to go with your life vision, with your life goal, with things that God would want you to do, with truly living by design. So you should not only be in the moment. I feel that someone right there should be thinking about, okay, I should even journal about this journaling webinar that I just like we are having. I should journal about it and what stood out for me and all of that. Because when you put in that kind of intentionality, it makes you see different, it makes you think different, it makes you won't just see from, oh, we went for one webinar. Esther Additional hosted a webinar and Mercy Alimi spoke. You won't just see that, oh, and she spoke about some forms of journaling. She did this. You'd be able to write extensively. You'd be able to engage your being. Yes, you'll be able to engage your being in the process. So yes, that is it. So I want you to have your journal with you now, before we continue. So I'll just like highlight some questions you can ask yourself, some defining questions you can ask yourself in some areas of your life, and how you can get to answer those questions. And trust me, you may not be able to answer those questions immediately. You may not be able to answer those questions with many pages and all of that. But the most important thing is that you are able to express yourself. You are able to show how you feel, to reflect on the processes of your life. and what is next. It's easy for us to set goals, but I think journaling is something that helps you to achieve more with your goals. Journaling is something that helps you to, okay, I've set these goals, I'm doing. But in journaling, you are able to evaluate, you're able to monitor your movements, you're able to monitor your processes. And at the end of the day, you come to a point that, okay, maybe you just notice the problem. Oh, okay, from what I've written, I think this is a problem. I think I have to work on this. I think I have to work on that. So that is how transformative journaling can be. It helps you and it helps others around you, but it helps you first. So yes, are we with our journals? Are we ready? Are we with our pen and our papers? Okay. So I have a yes from Joy. Let's have the yeses. Let's have the yeses. Let's have the yeses. Esther has let's have the yeses, yes. So Esther has asked to. I'm waiting for others. Let's do this. Let's do this. Gloria has asked to. Because I may actually have to rush with the questions because of our time. Like the final questions that I created for this webinar. Yes, it was actually created for this webinar, and they actually flowed. They came out without me thinking too much about them. I just like put them down in my journal. So yes, Ogoluwa has is a journal with art. So I okay, thank you so much. So are we ready? Are we ready? So yes, I sectioned this into different aspects: spirituality, relationship with God, um, soul test review, career, visionary aspects, the personal vision, and the corporate vision, and the good students review too. Yes, I think I have that. I have the relationship aspect too. So I I'll just like I'll just be reading, right? So I believe that you should be able to like get one or two from what I'll be saying. So under God or spirituality, these are some of the questions. How have I been able to draw near and achieve my spiritual goals for the month? So I made this a kind of journal, a quarter review. We are ending a quarter very soon. So I intentionally made it in form of a quarter review. So it's more like the first quarter journal prompt. So it's a form of review for you to review how like these different aspects of your lives have been for the past 3 months. So under God, we have how have I been able to draw near and achieve my spiritual goals for the month, for the quarter? What state am I in my relationship with God? Am I satisfied? Is it satisfying? Is there a hunger for more? What are the things that have helped me to grow in my relationship with God? So you want to list those things, and after listing them, you write extensively about them. Okay, it's my relationship with people, it's the way I've been accountable with people and all of that. How can I light the fire in my soul from wishing to acting with a sense of urgency to all the directions of the spirit? What habit helps me in having a consistent prayer and Bible life? Yes. What are the habits? What are the moments of encounters I had in my private devotion this quarter? And the aim of this question is to help you document properly God's word, to help you document the encounters you had while praying, while studying the word, your relationship, communication with God's people, and even in like normal daily activities, right? So you want to document all those processes. Maybe it's through a dream or a conversation with someone. The next question is, what specific instructions have you received for your life? What specific instructions? Highlight those instructions and the actions you've taken towards the instructions. So what are the specific instructions from the moment you've had in the first quarter, from different moments you've had in your relationship with God in the first quarter? What are the prophetic words? What are the God words in the scripture that you've held on to and that has helped you in the first quarter? And how are you taking actions towards the instructions that you've gotten in the first quarter? What are the tools that are helping you to study better, to pray more? Is it do you pray more while listening to music? Do you study more with tools like digital tools, with a Bible app, with a Bible commentary, with a Bible plan, with a Bible concordance? Or is it through the accountability model that you've set up for yourself? What are the things that are helping you to be effective in your Bible study time? And the last question here is, what are the Bible verses that stand strong in your heart and has strengthened your convictions in the first quarter? What are those Bible verses? We want to write them down. You don't just want to say, and God, Genesis 1:1, God said in the beginning, God spoke to me in that part of the Bible. You don't just want to have it in your head. You want to write it down, and the specific ways, like what the Holy Spirit impressed in your heart as you were studying that part of the scripture. So, yes, are we good? Should we move to the next section? Hi, everyone. Is anyone there? So, we are moving to the soul test review now. The soul test review. And I intentionally created this because I believe that our soul one is one of the portals that affect our destiny, that affect anything, everything we that we would be, or that God has designed for us to be. And the Bible talks about renewal of the mind because it's important. So the soul test review helps you to know the state of your soul, fix the depreciations of your soul, launch towards abundance, and just crave for more, crave for more, crave for more. So, and when we talk about the soul, it encompasses so many things. It encompasses your mind, your will, and your emotions. Generally, your mind, your will, and your emotions. And once your mind is set towards the right thing, you're able to see different. You are able to get different definitions about things compared to what other people are getting. And when your will and your emotions too are, when you're healthy in those aspects too, it makes a lot of difference. So yes, are we ready to write the questions under it? So under the soul test review, the first question is, what is the state of your soul? So describe the state of your soul. How is your mind? How are you in your will and your emotions? The next question is, in what way do you feel you're experiencing the depreciation in your soul? Remember, I said when you are writing about this, you are writing from a place of vulnerability and from a place of the love you have for yourself, because you love yourself and you want to be better, right? So, in what way do you feel a form of depreciation in your soul? In what way? And the next question is, in what way are you experiencing abundance in your soul? In what way are you experiencing abundance in your soul? What are the habits and the choice of lifestyle that has helped you in fixing the depreciations in your soul? What are those habits? What are those lifestyle that you notice that, oh, once the moment I started doing this, I felt different. I was not feeling reckless in my soul. I was not feeling like I had to fix some form of depreciation and all of that. So, yes, what are those habits? What is the choice of lifestyle that you notice that, oh God, we have 5 minutes more? Yeah. Okay, so let me rush. So, how has social media influenced you influenced the health of your soul? And on a scale of 1 to 5, how have you improved in embracing? Oh, on a scale of 1 to 5, what is the state of the health of your soul? Sorry, I'm trying to rush. How have you improved your mind to embracing possibilities for a limitless limitless perspective? So how have you been able to embrace possibilities? How have you been able to embrace seeing endless possibilities from a state of limitless perspective? And how has your association, how has your relationships, how has your circle of influence affected your belief? How has it affected your acceptance of values? How has it affected your definitions? What do you feel you should do different to have a prosperous soul? What are the things you feel that you should do different? And the last question here is that, is there any weight you're carrying that draws you back from experiencing flourishing in full essence? What are the weights? Is it unforgiveness? Is it bitterness? What are the weights that you feel like you're carrying that is making you, that might hinder you from being prosperous in your soul? So yes, under career, there is those questions. What are you grateful for about your career? What have you been What actions have you taken in the first quarter to become better in your profession? And what are those who are those people rather, that has propelled you to defining decisions and influenced you to see from a state of possibilities? What are the resources that have helped you to leverage and become more aware of the trends in your field? What do you plan to achieve in the second quarter? And how do you move from the goals to, oh God, I can't see my handwriting. So okay, let me reframe the question. How can you move from to becoming better in your field? Do you have to attend events? Do you have to read more books? And who do you see yourself becoming in the second quarter as regards your career? So concerning the visionary life, personal vision aspects, I have describe the state of your vision. What are your convictions? What are the goal for? What were the goal for the first quarter? How have you been able to accomplish them? What habit, conversation, or event is propelling you to work in alignment to your vision? Check your structures and your system that you've put in place. Are they solid enough to keep you grounded? Are they strong enough, non-compromising, to help you stay and stretch in different situations? Who are your teachers? Who were your teachers for the first quarter? And what have you learned from them? How have you been putting all that you've learned into practice? And how does your life vision make you feel? Do you feel compelled to do more? Do you feel stopped and in need of clarity? Do you feel overwhelmed by the numerous demands, the numerous pressures? What do you like, how do you feel about it? Does it compel you to focus on one thing and stop some activities? Does it draw you to seeking solitude and have more time to reflect and retreat? Does it make you to want to grow a strong circle of influence, a strong circle of alliance, visionaries? And what are the lifestyle and habits of a visionary person? And how will this help you to sustain your energy levels and help you as you journey? And we have the corporate vision aspect, we have the good students review. I think I want to read some parts for the good students because of the student that can be in our midst. So on a scale of 1 to 5, Esther, please let me know when my time is up. Thank you. On a scale of 1 to 5, how has my performance been academically? What habits has helped me in the last session or quarter to be better in my academics? What are the current challenges I'm facing that is affecting me from being a better student? In what other ways have I been expanding my thought and mindset? What mode of studying is helping me in this season as a student? And how do I leverage it more to reaching a peak performance? How close am I to my teachers, my seniors, my classmates? How can I use this relationship to grow better and prepare myself for my career and life after school? What skills do I have to learn? Okay, do I have to learn that will position me for the opportunities ahead? How do I embrace the goodies in the university environment and in other institutions to become better? So yes, there are other questions under that, but yes, I believe that with these defining questions, you have an idea of how to ask yourself some questions and how to answer them. You have an idea of how to ask yourself some questions and how to answer them. So yes, while saying bye and while we're moving to the next session, I want you to highlight something that stood out from you for you from this session, something that stood out from for you. And I really love to see you evolve in journaling and you seeing journaling as something you want to do always, something you want to do as much as you can, as much as you have the capacity, just like drinking water. And drinking water, I wanted to say, okay, drinking water and maybe chewing gum for some of us, or licking sweets, or taking your favorite meal. So, yes, I want us to be intentional with it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being active. I believe that this would mark so many things. It's the beginning of beginnings for you and so many transformation. Thank you so much. And yes, thank you, Esther, for this. Thank you.
Wow. 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 Please let's celebrate our speaker. It has been phenomenal. Yeah, thank you, Joy. What a webinar. It's value packed, very realistic. I mean, very practicable. Let's celebrate Mercy in the chat. Let's celebrate Mercy in the chat. She has been very valuable to us and she has shared so much insights. My God, I almost cannot believe that we have been listening to we have been listening for more than an hour and everything is just making sense. Everything is just making sense. This a close. Do we have questions from the session? If we have questions, that was a very good time to ask. So if we have questions, please just ask. You can unmute your mics or just type in the chat box if you have a question. Are there any questions? Any questions at all? Do we have questions, please? Does this mean nobody has questions? Okay, then, no problem. I've had an amazing time. I think I should even show my notes. I started from here. I have notes. I mean, I filled out 2 full pages and I will sit with it after this session and ensure that I'm able to get all the juices. I would also watch the replay. And this is where I will mention that the replay be made available and with a resource material and a compilation of all the questions that our guest was reading and sharing with us. However, they'll be coming together as a bundle and at a cost as well, so that we can pay attention to everything that is being shared. And we want to share it with other people, they can approach it with that intentionality, of the value that they are about to gain from it. But you know what? We have been marked forever. We have been marked forever. And there's one thing I want us to do after this session is to go over everything that has been shared, share the things that you have learned, journal about it, share it with your friends. You can share it on social media. all these things. In fact, I feel like, when they speak about digital footprint, it's like journaling your online presence. You like journaling your online presence and just telling your stories as you go. So yes, let's talk about what we learned. Let us share it with people. Let us when you do so, please, I would love to see it. I'm sure Mercy would love to see it as well. You can tag us at the Mercy Alimi, at the Esther Additional, at Esther Ade rather, at the Esther Ade on Instagram, at the Mercy Alimi on Instagram as well. Also tag MyGrowthProcess. Conversations on Growth is an initiative of the MyGrowthProcess community. We're a personal development community, and we are focused on equipping you with relevant and integrable structures to live out your full potential and drive sustainable growth in your communities, impact your communities. So conversations on growth have been ongoing for a while, but we have made it public now, and it will happen every month. And trust me, you do not want to miss the other conversations. Today has been mind-blowing. Thank you so much, Mercy. I appreciate you. I sincerely celebrate you. Thank you for sharing from your years of experience and diligence. I mean, the way you were talking, unraveling the levels, mind blowing, mind blowing. My goodness, this was so good. So, thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. And immediately we jump off this call, please just go to the group, type what stood out for you from the session, and just rate your experience in the session. Thank you so much. And this is where we call it a good night, an amazing time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Enjoy the second quarter of the year. Succeed through the second quarter of the year, and journal your way into success. Goodbye. Thank you so much, everyone. And if you can turn on our cameras, let's just take a quick selfie.
Okay.
For those that can turn on your cameras.
Yeah,
Please
let's
wait
take
for group selfie. Don't go yet. Let's take a group selfie. If you can turn on your cameras, it would be amazing to have you now. Okay. Oh, great. I love this. I just pray I've captured it. Please, can someone help me on their end? I don't know, my phone is responding very slowly.
I think I did.
Okay, I think I did as well already. So thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We need to go now. So nice to have you, Joy. And Gloria and Ogolua and Stephen. So glad to have you. Bye.
It was so lovely being here. Thank you once again, Esther and Mercy. It was such a lovely time being here. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.